I'm giving these products a second chance. No, I'm just kidding. Kind of. We'll see. But for today's video, I am doing a full face of not first impressions. So these are products that have been in my speed reviews drawer to be featured, but they've been sitting in my speed reviews drawer longer than I have wanted them to because, to be honest, I haven't really reached for them in a while, and I need to kind of refresh my memory on these or get to know these products more so that I can put them in as speed reviews. So I will tell you the reasons why I wasn't reaching for some of these products. Some have good reasons, some have bad reasons that I'm not reaching for them. Like I always say, for my speed reviews, I'm not lying. If I put a product in my speed reviews video, it truly does mean I've been testing it multiple ways with multiple products, and that is my review. So this video is me trying some of my speed review drawers products so I can prep my thoughts for that speed reviews. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyways, my skin is prepped and hydrated with my moisturizers. I don't have any real primers to get into today, so we are going to start off with foundation, and I have been actively avoiding using this product because it's just not what I want on my skin. You might have been waiting for this in a speed reviews drawer, but simply I didn't want to use it. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Skin Sheer Glow Tint Hydrating Foundation Stick. This to me is a glowy primer in a stick form. This is not a foundation, and I have not wanted to reach for it, but today's the day. I'm a little bit scared because I'm going out to lunch after this and I want to look good, and this just isn't very cute on my skin. So I've used this a few times. This isn't a second impressions, but it's been sitting in my drawer for weeks now because I haven't wanted to reach for it. So I'm ready to get a couple more uses out of this before I give my final review, even though I kind of know where this is going. So the key with this is I've learned for my skin, I have more porous textured skin. Like, I don't have smooth skin, so glowy foundations like this on my skin aren't super flattering. So I feel like in the number of times that I've used this, the best way for me is to use it minimally to even the skin out, but actually let my concealer give me most of the coverage. I mean, do you see the bounce that this product has? I'm so shocked that they labeled this as a foundation. I feel like if they labeled this as Flawless Filter in a stick, that would be more accurate. But as an actual foundation, I am not a fan. I look way too glowy. Now, this foundation will settle down and not look as crazy once I get my concealer, my powder, bronzer, blush, highlight. Then it's much more presentable and acceptable for me. But still, just knowing I have to make such adjustments, it has not been appealing for me to reach for in my speed reviews drawer. And I'm reaching for something for my speed reviews drawer every single day to do my makeup. So the fact that I have been actively avoiding this and reaching for other products over this, I think is a big sign that I just don't love this product, because I always say one of the reviews is the test of time. Am I actually going to be using this over time? And if it's already struggling to be used in my speed reviews drawer sitting in front of me every single day when I do my makeup or play with my makeup, that says a lot. So I just put a little bit on the skin. Up close, it looks a little crazy, a little bit glowy. My favorite way to use this when I've had to is to let my concealer do most of the talking, if I'm being honest. So I just apply the stick in a light layer around the rest of my face, and then I really overblend my concealer. And this concealer has a lot more coverage as well. This is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, an oldie but a goodie. But this is kind of the opposite of the foundation stick. It has coverage, it's more of a flat finish. So I will kind of spread this out to make up for the extra glowy foundation, and this will also aid in some extra coverage, especially in the middle of my face where I do have the most discoloration. So I don't mind this foundation stick really underneath product, like under a tinted moisturizer or something, but it is labeled as a foundation, and that's just not really how I like to use it. So the best way that I found to use it for me and my skin type who just can't handle this type of glow on my face is to almost spread my concealer out over top of the areas that I just don't want pure glow coming through, which is, for me, the center of the face. Oh, and to be clear, this Too Faced concealer is not part of this video, really. I just wanted to use a reliable concealer that I know would pair well with the Charlotte Tilbury stick. It's a classic for me in my collection. I don't have any brow products that I'm working on testing right now, so let me do those off camera. PSL break! I've been making pumpkin spice lattes every morning. I'm addicted to pumpkin flavored things. I love fall so much. Though in Maryland, it has been dark and rainy every single day. I think Jose is going into depression, but I'm drinking my pumpkin drinks. We went to Trader Joe's this weekend, and I did a mass shopping haul of all of the pumpkin stuff that I missed from last year. Okay, anyways, I'm just chatting. So, blush, I have a cream blush, I guess liquid. I have a liquid blush that I'm gonna do before we get powder on the face. It's the Huda Beauty Blush Filter Liquid Blush. The reason I haven't gone into these is because, first of all, there's so much competition with all of the new blushes. I bought this a little bit late, so it was a little bit less relevant to use, but the Hourglass palettes launched, so those are what I've been using on my cheeks a lot, so I was like, okay, let me use these today. Let me get my thoughts finalized on these. Today I'm gonna use we're gonna use strawberry cream today. I don't know, I have a very warm eyeshadow palette, so we'll do a mixture of both. Doesn't that sound fun? Yeah, we're gonna do that. So these have that weird Hourglass applicators, and I like these. They smell good. I don't have any issues with these, they just haven't been the most exciting blush launch in my collection. I have a powder blush that I wanted to do in this video, but maybe that's for another time. Okay, so I'm gonna start off by making a mess. Maybe that wasn't the best idea. The goal here was to keep the peach shade towards the front, and then the strawberry cream towards the back. I didn't do a good job with that. Poor decision making on my part, but these do blend out really easily. Huda's been really about this blurred thing lately, and these had a short lifespan in terms of popularity because Huda Beauty, after launching these, quickly came out with her blurring liquid foundation, which is a little bit of a hotter topic right now, so I think people forgot about this launch. It's really nice. It has a nice dry down. It doesn't feel too heavy on the skin. Okay. No, I do like these. There's just been other blushes that I've liked a little bit more, but these blend out really nice. They're pretty on bare skin. Okay. I just needed a little reminder to reconfirm that I liked these. I do. They're a little bit more sheer. They give a little bit more of like a blush from within. I know we talk about glow from within, but these give more of a natural flush while still giving a lot of color. Anyways, these are still nice. And then I'm just not a liquid highlight fan in general, so I haven't been reaching for this a lot. I find with the way that I powder as well, liquid highlight, it just gets covered by my powder. So I'm going to use the LYS cream highlighter in the shade Brave today. Mine kind of melted in the mail. So I'm just going to use my finger. This is the best way I like to apply it. I feel like I get the most accurate placement that I'm looking for. And this is good. I haven't noticed it acting funny. I do prefer with cream highlights to make sure I apply it before any creams, even though some cream and liquid highlights are beautiful over powder as well. It just looks more seamless to me and allows the product to live its best life and look its best when I use it like this. And it's okay, it does give a really nice natural glow, but I'm not in love with it, and most of that has to do with the fact that I'm just not a creamer liquid highlight fan to begin with. But I can name other cream and liquid highlights that I probably would use over this, but it's not a bad formula at all if you are into this format of highlighters. It blended into the skin beautifully. It's not too metallic. It's a little messy. It's really quickly warming up to the touch of my finger and getting pretty wet. Anyways, I'm just not a fan of this style of product as much, so I haven't gotten to use it as much. So today we got it. And we have a hair right here. Get out. We can get into powders now, finally. I was stuck between which pressed powder I wanted to use, the Too Faced Born This Way or the Tower 28. The Tower 28 I've used more, but I like it better for under eyes, so maybe we'll do that. And then I'll use the Too Faced Soft Blur Flexible Finish Setting Powder, which is in very cute packaging, by the way, on the rest of the face. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Tower 28 probably has the highest success rate in terms of me loving the percentage of their brand. But I have to say, this is the first launch in a long time from them that hasn't absolutely knocked my socks off. Now, it is not a bad powder. So they did not launch a bad product. I'm just very particular about my powders. And this one doesn't do it for me. By the way, I'm using the Dragon brush from Hourglass. It's a little bit more of a dense brush than the ones that they've launched this year, but I love it for setting the under eyes. But I just feel like it gets the job done, so it's not offensive in any way, but it's not doing any favors. It's not blurring, it's not smoothing. It really just sets my under eyes look a little bit dry. So I haven't been reaching for this as much because I felt like there's just not as much of an incentive. In my drawer, I have all types of powders that have launched recently. It's a really popular product with winter coming up. And so this one doesn't really stand out amongst the new powders, so I haven't reached for it as much. And what I've reached for even less is this adorable Born This Way Soft Blur Flexible Finish Setting Powder. I have mine in the shade Light. I'm going to kind of try to get around the rest of my face to minimize the glow from the Charlotte Tilbury, which is already looking so much better with all of the other products. Now this one, I don't know why I reached for the Tower 28 one over this. Oh, definitely more loosely pressed. Huh, it's actually quite nice. Why haven't I reached for this one as much? Maybe, does the color darken the under eyes? It does a little bit, maybe that's why. I don't like a powder that would darken my under eyes because I choose my under eye concealer color for a reason, and I find a lot of times with powders, they'll darken the under eyes. I think this one does it slightly because there's a little bit of coverage to it. So this is a powder that's better for setting, which I haven't really done recently. So I guess it just hasn't been a product that I felt like I needed. And again, it's been fighting with all of the beautiful loose powders that have launched, which are just a little bit more flattering. But looks okay. A hint dry. I do feel like I need a setting spray. I won't hold that against the powder itself because I do have more dry skin. Like, again, just like the Tower 28, it set the makeup. It looks fine, but I have better powders. I love this packaging though, so much. So anyways, I feel like I still need to play with that one more. This one is hard to get a read on because it looks dry in some areas, but it also looks really smooth in some areas. I need to play around a little bit more with the coverage that we can get from that. I have a couple of powder bronzers since I haven't done bronzers today. I've played around with this one a little bit more. The Rouge Blush from Dior in the number 100 Diorissimo. I can tell you, love, love, love this highlight. But I've been reaching for the cream bronzer that Dior launched more than I've been reaching for this. This is so subtle that the only time I've used it really is to set my cream bronzer. So I haven't really used it on its own. It's the perfect Baked Gelée formulation to set a cream bronzer because it really doesn't change the color too much. But I just wanted to try it on bare skin. Well, not bare skin, but without any cream contour underneath today to see it work its magic on its own. It's definitely better, I think, over a cream bronzer. I've used the highlight in here a lot. Love the highlight in here. But I wanted to test this bronzer. And it's really lovely and sheer. I think this will be great on more fair complexions. I stand by how I like to use it. But I just wanted to refresh how it looked over foundation and on top of nothing else other than that. But I just simply feel like I need to use this one more. Again, I haven't been reaching for this one as much because I've been reaching for that Dior cream contour stick, which is the only thing I've been using because I love it so much and it's in my speed reviews drawer and I need to stop, which is why I'm here today. And this is their Matte Radiance Baked Powder in Bronze 02. It's a beautiful baked formulation. And this is just a product I need to get to know more, so we're using it today. It's fairly new in my collection. I did a full face of Laura Mercier recently, which went over so well. I love those products so much. And I feel like Laura Mercier could work on their bronzer line. But this is new to me. I'm still working on my thoughts on it. I do love a good baked formulation. This is definitely warmer than the Dior, but I love a baked formulation because it just goes so smooth on the skin. And it'll build up in pigment most of the time with a good formulation. That's why I love Hourglass so much as well. There's something about the way that even though they are powders, they veil over the skin and don't dry it out. If I had a makeup line, I probably would opt for baked bronzers and blushes as well. I'm really excited to try Ellie Glein's baked blushes. I have them in my to play with drawer. Excited about that. But this one is definitely warmer, deposited more color. Honestly, I like the way that this applies better than the Dior. The Dior, again, for setting my cream bronzer and contour. This is prettier all over the skin, so okay. I like that. Very smooth. Nobody ever talks about this. This is not a new hot talked about product, but I've been reacquainting myself with the Laura Mercier line because I just think they have kick butt products. Also quite nice. A bit warmer than I would normally prefer though. And then I'm going to set my liquid blush because I do feel like it got a bit lost in the sauce with all of these products that I'm putting on. And I just haven't reached for the new Fenty Beauty Fenty Cheek Suede Powder blushes as much. Again, they're competing with Hourglass, so there is no competition. Hourglass will win every time. But I do need to get more familiar with these formulas and colors if I do want to get them out of my speed reviews drawer. Trying to decide what color. They sent me a PR package. Honestly, don't love the colors that they sent me. So that's also part of the problem. I could go out and buy my own colors, but then I just don't need to. I have 4 of them. But the colors that they sent me really aren't colors that I would wear, you know? So that's part of the problem. But I guess Petal Poppin', which is one of my favorite cream blush colors in their line, I'll put on top. I'm going to use the F2 brush from Makeup by Mario. I never thought there would come a day where I would love double-ended brushes, but I've been using mostly double-ended brushes. Okay, just a little bit. Now these are ones that I'm going to have to dedicate time and specific looks to use these, but they just haven't been on the forefront of what I've been wanting to use lately. And you know, powder blushes, you can only go so far in description. These are fine. They aren't going down as like an immediate love for a powder blush formulation for me though. I have some that just work for me and I love, and not that these are bad, but they don't stand out to me with the current blush market, which is absolutely insane with what some of these brands are able to come out with. And then this one, I know I liked it. This is probably like a third impressions. I know I liked it, but there's another one in my speed reviews drawer I like a lot more, so I'm reaching for it more. But I do have the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Soft Setting Spray, and I did a review on this, and I really liked it, but I haven't really reached for it since, because at the same time, I got the Cosmetics Divine Water in my collection, and that one, that's all I've been reaching for setting spray wise. And then the Tier one entered my collection, and again, that one entered the rotation between that and the Cosmetics. So this one, it's not even that I think the other two are better. I just know that those other two worked really well, so I just need to use this one more. And since I feel like I'm looking a little bit dry because of the pressed powders, dare I say this mist, while it's nice and fine, it's a little bit too fine. Sometimes I do like a slightly damp face. Not wet, not dripping, but I want like and done. Ugh, that looks scary right now. I probably need to press it in. My fan is in my bathroom right now. Okay, and then when I feel like it's just sitting on top of the skin, And when I really need that instant boost of hydration, it's best to speed up the process and push the setting spray into the skin. And this will also even out all of the powder sitting on top of the skin. And the setting spray will work as a barrier between the sponge and the product itself and kind of mush it all together. Yeah, I really like that setting spray. That just made everything look like it got a second life. Much more hydrating. I liked this the first few times I've used it. I just need to remind myself why I liked it. Sorry, complexion took me forever today, but we do need to get into eyes. You guys are not going to believe the palette that I need to put in this video. I need to use the Natasha Denona I Need a Warm palette more. Normally when Natasha Denona launches a new palette, it's the only palette I'll use, but for some reason I've been using, let me show you what I've been using over this, which I think is quite unbelievable. But there's 3 palettes that I've been rotating the most between. I was not expecting this, but particularly for the shade Naked, I've been reaching for this. I just feel like with the Natasha Denona palette, it's so warm, and those haven't been the looks that I've been going for. I've been going for that palette a lot. The Too Faced Appley in Love, I can't believe I've been using this more than the Natasha Denona, and not because it's better quality, but it's just been more within the color range that I've wanted to use. And then Viseart, like this is 4th place. It's crazy. Viseart redid and kind of relaunched their OG palette, and these have the best neutral matte colors. So I've been reaching this. So I've been reaching for this one more too. This palette's just quite warm. I know it's more of a neutral warm palette, but I just haven't been reaching for it as much. Not because it's not good. I've just been wanting the colors in the other one more. I don't know. Honestly, I'm embarrassed. Shame on me. But we're going to do a look with it today because I do want to get some more use out of it. So I'm going to do one eye to spare us some time. The look I decided to do was boring, but that's because I needed to prove to myself that this isn't just a warm palette, so that instinctively when I go in my drawer, I'll reach for it more. And I was successful. See, I didn't get a look that was too warm. And that's the reason why I wasn't reaching for it. In my head, without even opening up the palette, I'm like, too warm. Because when you reach for these colors, like, yes, it's too warm. But there are some more neutral options. So I'm reaching for Soft Spot using Nikki LaRose N13 with BK Beauty. This is a really good crease brush. And we're just going to do a good old windshield wiper motions and work this out in the crease. Get it to be really blended. Okay, see, this is like the perfect crease shade. There is like a hint of warmth, but nothing that's worrisome. Nothing to put me off. I just don't love an orange crease. I don't mind a warm look, but I can't have this first crease color be too warm. I love Natasha Denona, but my one critique is with her palettes lately, it's been very monochromatic. So you're limited despite having 15 shades in the palette. A lot of the looks do end up looking the same, just a little lighter or a little darker, a little warmer, a little less warm. So that is my one critique. I still think she's doing an amazing job and the palettes absolutely appeal to me. But sometimes that hinders me reaching for it because I feel like there's not many different looks I can get. And you know I like to switch things up. But do I though? I don't really like to switch up my looks. I like to switch up my products, I guess. Again, make sure we get this really well blended. I am only going out to lunch, you guys, with my grandma and my cousin and her new baby. And we're getting Mexican food, which I love. Okay. And then I'm using a flat shader brush from What's Up Beauty into Elm. So we're just using this trio today. Then I'll reach into one more shade. And I've just been loving this really bright, shimmery eyelid. Blend that out. Then because I just wanted it with a little bit more oomph, I went into Fancy, which is a little brighter, slightly more glitters. Not much, but just enough to add a little sparkle to the eye. Ooh! Nothing special to it, but I did forget that I am not limited to like a super orangey look with this. Very good, very good. And then of course, we already knew the quality was going to be awesome. I'm going to use this kohl liner from Jillian Dempsey. I just haven't reached for it very often, so I thought it would be a good brown liner to use for today's look. And they have some good products in this line. I don't remember it being moved by this liner in particular. It's a kohl liner, but it's on the drier side, which I don't mind. Oh gosh, I hate when I do that. But traditionally, kohl liners are a bit more wet. I just want a light little smudge. Every time I do my eyeliner now, I laugh because I know I would send 2016 Morgan to the grave if she knew how subtle I do my liner and how I do it smudgy, blended with a pencil liner. Because back in the day, black liquid liner with a wing only. I could not understand pencil eyeliners, especially that weren't black. I needed as much definition and starkness as possible. I just wouldn't be able to believe it now. I like made a little bit of a mess here. I'm reapplying some of this. But this liner is almost like a powder. I like it, but it is a bit different than the traditional kohl. Lately, instead of this, I've been reaching for the Kosas liners. Not because they're better by any means. I don't know why. I just have a lot more of them. But I think this is nicer than the new Kosas gel liners. At least for the smudgy brown look. This is where I struggle. I always, you know, the millennial in me, I always just need to do a little wing, even though it's not necessary. I just have to. It's my hand doing it, not me. Because doesn't it feel unfinished? Because I don't want to say wings are out. They are not. It's just not as popular and as necessary as it used to feel. I'm technically not a millennial, though. I'm technically, like, the oldest of Gen Z, but I'm a millennial at heart. I like things millennials like. Not that it matters, but I'm also gonna do this on my waterline. It's brown, so I don't mind if it's a little more harsh because it's less harsh than if I were doing black. I like this. I like this even more than I remember. And then lastly, for the eyes, I might pop on some falsies, but I like this mascara a lot from Hailey's Beauty. It's the Reveal Lash Lengthening Mascara, but this is a BITC page to get off. And a lot of times, you know, when people ask me how I'm able to review so many products, I will do multiple looks in a day. And so I haven't wanted to reach for this because it's hard to get off. But I think for today's look, this is all I'm going to be wearing today, most likely. Might not be. I don't know. But anyways, I'll just put up a good fight with this. It's hard to get off. That's the thing. It makes my lashes look good, but nobody wants a mascara that's hard to get off. I love its tiny little wand, too. Perfect for my small lashes. This mascara does so good for my lashes, and if you take the time, you can really separate and get a lot of length. But I'm gonna be regretting it tonight because it's gonna be hard to take off. But anyways, while that dries, before I even recurl them, lips. And I was so excited about this lip collection, but for some reason I haven't reached for it as much, so finally I'm doing that today. Trixie Cosmetics, who has some of the cutest packaging on the market, they launched lip liners and lipsticks. So I'm gonna do, since I'm eating a little bit messily, we'll do a lighter lip. I'm doing the, what do they call these? Lip Sync Gel Lip Liners in Work Wife with the matching Work Wife lipstick. Creamy. Do these set down? I can't even remember. I've been using the Fenty Beauty lip liners a lot recently, and I think that's why this kind of got put on the back burner. Creamy application, which could be a good or bad thing. Sometimes I like mine more dry because I get a little bit more precision with application. My hand is shaking from the coffee I'm drinking all morning. This is such a good, like, fall neutral lip color. Has a little bit of warmth in there. And then we have the lipstick. And the lipsticks are so cute. They're in this heart packaging. These have a subtle vanilla scent. This matches my shirt perfectly. It's just a matte lipstick formulation, so my lips are a little crusty looking. That's more on me than the product, but it certainly doesn't do any favors in that regard. Love this color though. I think if I could go back, I would do a more mocha-y kind of colored blush. But I had to work with what I was given here. I think I'm gonna pop on some lashes and I'll show you the final look. Guys, look, the Trixie lip liner also sets down. Okay, that's awesome. I love when the lip liner can have a creamy application and then set down. But here is our fall look. It turned out that was kind of my goal, to have it be fall-like. But the Work Wife Trixie lip combo, ultimate good neutral fall lip, by the way. I'm gonna keep this out because this is perfect for fall. And here we are. So I'm going to keep a close eye on this makeup all day because I always take mental notes for my speed reviews. But I hope you guys enjoyed getting ready with me while I was giving all these products second, third, fourth impressions and kind of refreshing my mind and experimenting with these products in different ways so that I can come back and give you guys the most accurate reviews that I can and experienced reviews that I can. And I would say all in all, it looks pretty good. I think the base is the biggest issue here, and I think it has to do with I just didn't use my favorite powders. These are okay, but I have smoother skin days, and then this as well doesn't help smooth the skin at all. So some products I really like, some products I'm still like about. But anyways, if you like this video and want to stay tuned for my final reviews on these products, make sure you subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. I, of course, always have a lot of content in the works, so make sure you stay tuned and stay around, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.